Have you ever wondered why we feel happy and content after listening to calming music? Or why do we feel energized by listening to hip-hop music? Hey guys, welcome to another exciting video from our channel. In today's video, we are going to deconstruct the connection between music and your brain. But before we get down to it, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us. That said, now let's begin. Experts are attempting to decipher how our brains are able to hear and play music. Vibrations from a stereo system move through the air and into the ear canal in some way. These vibrations tickle the eardrum, converting them to an electrical signal that passes through the auditory nerve to the brainstem, where it is reassembled into music. Hundreds of jazz musicians and rappers have improvised music while laying down inside an fMRI machine to discover which parts of their brain light up, according to Johns Hopkins researchers. Music is structural, mathematical, and architectural, says the composer. It's built on note-to-note relationships. One otolaryngologist points out that you may not realize it, but your brain has to do a lot of computation to make sense of it. Go to the gym if you want to tone up your muscles. Music is a great way to keep your mind active. One Johns Hopkins otolaryngologist notes, there are a few things that activate the brain as music does. Listening to or playing music is a terrific way to keep your brain occupied as you age. It's a full-body workout for the brain. Music has been demonstrated to increase sleep quality, mood, mental alertness, and memory, as well as reducing anxiety, blood pressure, and discomfort. Experts suggest that you pay attention to what your children or grandchildren listen to. We frequently listen to the same songs and genres of music that we did in our teens and 20s, avoiding anything that isn't from that time period. Old music does not challenge the brain in the same way that new music does. Although it may not feel pleasant at first, the unfamiliarity requires the brain to work hard to comprehend the new sound. The impact of music on the brain has been scientifically demonstrated. According to new studies, music can aid with pain alleviation, stress relief, memory, and brain damage, among other things. Scientists have found that music stimulates more parts of the brain than any other human function, writes Elena Mays in her book, The Power of Music. Let's take a look at some of the ways music can help with brain healing and stimulation. Music was found to be beneficial for fibromyalgia patients in a 2014 study. Listening to calming music of the patient's choice significantly reduced discomfort and boosted functional mobility, according to the study. Music, according to researchers, relieves pain by triggering opioids, the body's natural painkillers. People who were given the opioid-blocking medicine naltrexone had reduced pleasure when listening to their favorite song in a 2013 study, demonstrating that music triggers the production of pain-relieving chemicals. Did you know music also helps as a stress buster? Relaxing music can reduce stress by lowering cortisol levels, the hormone released in response to stress, depending on the genre of music you listen to. How does it affect our memory, though? Since the early 20th century, when the research on music and memory recall initially started, the number of studies has expanded. Certain types of music may transport you back decades in an instant. We mentioned the documentary Alive Inside in a recent blog post titled, Studies Prove Music Boosts Brain Activity in Alzheimer's Patients, which described how music helped patients with memory loss. Music creates emotion, and emotion can bring with it memory, remarked neurologist Oliver Sacks. When nothing else works, it restores the feeling of life. Music has been demonstrated to stimulate some of the brain's most extensive and diverse networks. Music, of course, activates the auditory cortex and the temporal lobes near your ears, but that's only the start. Emotional music activates and synchronizes the areas of the brain engaged in emotion. A variety of memory areas are also activated by music. Music also engages the motory system, which is an interesting finding. In fact, it has been proposed that the activation of the brain's motor system is what allows us to recognize the beat of the music even before we begin tapping our feet to it. So music essentially activates the entire brain. What exactly is the significance of this? Have you heard the phrase, if you don't use it, you'll lose it? This is true in the brain, as it turns out. When brain pathways and even entire networks are used, they become stronger. But when they are not used, they become weaker. The reason for this is that the brain is efficient, and it will not waste time maintaining a brain route that hasn't been used in years. The neurons in that circuit will be used for another purpose by the brain. These kinds of changes should be self-evident to you, which is why it's more difficult to speak a foreign language if you haven't spoken it in 20 years. Many of the original circuits have deteriorated and the neurons have been repurposed. So how does music help people to feel better, study better, improve their quality of life, and even make them happy? Because music has the ability to engage nearly all brain regions and networks. It can aid in the maintenance of a variety of brain pathways and networks, including those involved in well-being, learning, cognitive function, quality of life, and pleasure. In fact, the only other time you can simultaneously stimulate that many brain networks is when you engage in social activities. What are some of your favorite ways to include music into your daily routine? It's not difficult. According to a poll, individuals who actively listen to music had the greatest cognitive benefits. But even those who largely listened to background music had benefits. So you can start listening to music right now. If you're feeling down, listen to some upbeat music. You can get a boost of energy from listening to up-tempo music. You can get the most health benefits from music by combining it with an aerobic and social activity. Taking a Zumba class is a great way to get your heart rate up. Exercise with jazz music. Jump to the rock and roll beats. Alternatively, you may go dancing. Yes, you can still profit from these activities even if there is a pandemic. What happens if you put on some headphones and turn up the music? The tapping of your toes and fingers begins. Your head and shoulders may start to bob. You might find yourself on your feet, breaking a move, and joyfully shouting out the words in no time. The music is taking control and your body is joined in. While it is evident that music has a physical effect on you, knowing how music and the brain interact necessitates extensive research and the capacity to delve into the complexities of the human mind. The result is an enthralling picture of how music affects brain development, learning, mood, and even health. Explore cognitive studies and continue reading to understand more about how music impacts your brain. When music enters our brain, one of the first things that happens is that pleasure centers are activated, releasing dopamine, a joyful neurotransmitter. The brain can even anticipate the most enjoyable peaks in familiar music and ready itself with an early dopamine rush, since this response is so swift. Music, in addition to making you feel good, has been shown to be beneficial to your health. Listening to music has been linked to an increase in immunity-boosting antibodies in cells that guard against bacteria and other intruders, according to research. Music has also been shown to be useful in a number of different therapy settings, ranging from premature delivery to depression to Parkinson's illness. Even when it comes to brain development, music can be beneficial. Playing an instrument, for example, is thought to increase gray matter volume in specific parts of the brain, similar to how physical activity can tone and enlarge muscles. Start by looking for a newer used instrument that intrigues you if you want to learn to play a new instrument at home. Pianos, flutes, guitars, banjos, and other instruments can be found on Craigslist or at your local thrift store or instrument store. Then to begin studying, go online and hunt for free tutorial videos. Music has an active influence on your brain, whether you play an instrument, listen to music through a streaming app, or like attending live performances. Understanding how music and the mind interact, as well as to how to fine-tune your music consumption for optimal impact, can have a significant impact on how you feel, think, study, and much more. So, put on your headphones, turn on your favorite song, and feel your dopamine levels rise. Explore an online psychology degree or one of our other online degree programs to learn more about music and how the body operates in general. And with this, we have come to an end of our video. If you enjoyed it, do like, share, subscribe to our channel for more such exciting content. See you in the next video.